It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Your breath is coming out in thick, white plumes that vanish instantly into the freezing air of the Atacama Desert. The silence here isn't just quiet, it's heavy. It's a weight on your chest. You reach out and touch the side of the telescope housing. The metal is so cold, it feels like it's burning your fingertips through your gloves. It has that rough, frosted texture, like the inside of a deep freezer that hasn't been cleaned in years. You look up. There is no moon. The stars aren't just points of light. They look like shards of broken glass scattered across black velvet. You can smell the dry, metallic scent of the sand and the faint ozone smell of the massive computers humming behind you. Your eyes are burning from exhaustion, that gritty sandpaper feeling you get when you've stared at a screen for 18 hours straight. Suddenly, the screen in front of you changes. The flat, green line of cosmic background noise, the boring hiss of the universe, starts to spike. It's not a random jump, it's a pattern. 6 spikes, a pause. 6 spikes, a pause. Your heart hammers against your ribs so hard you think it might crack a bone. You aren't looking at a pulsar. You aren't looking at a satellite. You are looking at a signature. A signature from a star system that, according to every book in your library, should be dead. You realize in that moment that you were the first human being in 200,000 years to hear a voice that didn't come from Earth. But as you reach for the telephone to call the director, you notice something else. The signal isn't just coming from that star. It's directed at us. The wind fades, the sound of a radio dial turning, settling into a warm, lo-fi jazz beat. The sound of a ceramic spoon clinking against a porcelain cup.
Wow, Josh, every time you tell that story, I get actual goosebumps on my arms. I'm sitting here rubbing them now.
I know, right? It's the ultimate what-if scenario. And welcome in, everyone, to Radio English. I'm Josh. I'm currently leaning back in this old wooden chair. I apologize if you hear it creak, but I can't sit still when we talk about this. I've got a cup of coffee that is so hot the steam is actually fogging up my glasses.
And I'm Carla. I'm sitting across from Josh, clutching a mug of peppermint tea. The scent is incredibly sharp and fresh. It's helping me stay focused because today's topic is vast. It's massive. We are talking about contact.
But before we dive into the science and stories, I have to tell you something. I've been doing some deep research into the post-detection protocols. Most people think the government would tell us everything immediately. They wouldn't.
You mean there's a plan?
There is a very specific, very secret sequence of events that has already been signed by the world's major powers. And at the very end of our second part today, I am going to reveal a set of coordinates, a location right here on Earth where a specific reception center is waiting, fully powered 24 hours a day, just in case that beep happens again. You can see the facility on satellite maps, but nobody talks about what it's for.
Let that sink in for a moment. A facility waiting for a phone call from the stars? But Josh, let's be analytical for a second. We've been looking for, 70 years? And so far, we have the great silence.
Exactly, the Fermi Paradox. This brilliant physicist is sitting at lunch eating a sandwich, probably ham and cheese, who knows? And he looks at his friends and says, "Where is everybody?"
It's a fair question. The universe is billions of years old. There are trillions of planets. Even if life is rare, there should be millions of civilizations. So why don't we see their neon signs in the sky? Why aren't there alien versions of Starbucks on every moon?
I love the idea of an intergalactic Starbucks. One Martian latte, please. But seriously, Carla, think about the scale. Let's use an analogy. Imagine you're standing on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. You have a small plastic cup. You dip the cup into the water, pull it out, and look inside. You see no fish. Do you say, well, I guess there are no fish in the ocean?
Of course not. The cup is too small. The sample size is nothing compared to the volume of the sea.
Exactly. Our radio searches are like that plastic cup. We've searched a plastic cup worth of space, and the ocean is, well, it's the rest of the universe. We've only been listening for a heartbeat in cosmic time. You know what I mean? It's like arriving at a party that has been going on for 10 hours, staying for 1 millisecond, and complaining that nobody said hello.
That's a great way to put it. But some people argue that a truly advanced civilization would be so loud we couldn't miss them. They'd be building Dyson spheres, these massive shells around stars to capture energy.
See, that's why I disagree. I think we are looking for the wrong thing. We are looking for radio, which is basically primitive. Imagine we are two people in the jungle 5,000 years ago using smoke signals to communicate. We are looking at the horizon for smoke. Meanwhile, over our heads, there are thousands of invisible digital signals. Wi-Fi, satellite TV, cellular data. We can't see them. We don't have the tools to understand them.
So the aliens might be texting right through our bodies and we're still staring at the smoke?
Precisely. It's a humbling thought. We might be the only ones still using the postal service while the rest of the galaxy is on the intergalactic internet.
Let's talk about a real moment where we thought the smoke signal finally appeared. August 15th, 1977, the WOW signal.
Oh, I love this one. It's the Mona Lisa of alien mysteries. I remember reading about Jerry Amon, the scientist who found it. I imagine him in this hot, cramped office. It probably smelled like old paper and burnt vacuum tubes, those old computer parts that got really hot. He's looking at a long strip of paper with rows of numbers.
And most of the numbers were ones and twos, just background noise, the static of the stars. But then he sees a sequence, 6, E, Q, U, J5.
Bear with me here because this is important. On that scale, 6 is a little loud, Q is very loud, and U is incredibly loud. It was a peak, a narrow band signal. It wasn't something a star makes. A star is like a person screaming. It makes noise across all frequencies. This was like a laser beam, a single, perfect note.
And it lasted for 72 seconds. Why 72?
Because that's how long the telescope was pointed at that spot. The Earth was turning and the telescope's ear passed over that coordinate. The signal was there the whole time the ear was open. Then the Earth kept turning and the ear closed.
And they never heard it again. They went back to that spot hundreds of times. Nothing. Just the cold, empty hiss of the void.
It's like a ghost calling your name in an empty house. You turn around, you shout, "Who's there?" and there's just silence. You start to doubt yourself. Was it a glitch? Was it a secret military satellite?
I actually had a similar experience on a much smaller scale when I was living in that old apartment in London. You remember, the one with the drafty windows?
The one that smelled like damp carpets and history?
Yes. One night, my radio started playing a very clear, very beautiful melody. It wasn't a station, it was just music. I listened for a minute, mesmerized. Then I bumped the table, the radio shook, and it was gone. I spent 3 hours trying to find that frequency again. I never did. To this day, I don't know if I heard a pirate radio station or a ghost in the wires.
That's the WOW signal. It's the ultimate "the one that got away" story. But it proves one thing. There was something there.
But Josh, maybe the reason they didn't call back is darker. Have you heard of the dark forest theory?
It's one of the most terrifying ideas in science fiction. Imagine the universe is a dark forest at night. It is full of hunters. Every hunter is armed, moving silently through the trees.
Because the forest is dark, you don't know if the other hunters are friends or enemies. If you see another hunter, you have a choice. Do you say hello?
If you say hello, you reveal your position. And if that other hunter is aggressive, they will eliminate you to protect themselves. So the safest thing for every hunter to do is to stay silent, to hide in the shadows.
And if any hunter makes a noise, if they light a fire or shout, every other hunter in the forest will turn their weapons toward that sound.
Letting that sink in. Now think about us. For 80 years, we've been shouting. We've been broadcasting TV shows, radio signals, military radar. We've been lighting a massive neon sign in the middle of the dark forest that says, "We're here. We're delicious. Come and get us."
It makes you want to reach out and grab those radio waves and pull them back, doesn't it?
It really does. Some people think the WOW signal wasn't a hello. They think it was a warning, a shut up before they hear you message.
But who are they? And why would a civilization that can travel between stars be afraid of us?
We are still fighting over borders and burning oil. We're like ants to them.
But ants can bite, Carla, and ants eventually grow. If you're a galactic empire that has lasted 1,000,000 years, do you want to wait and see if the ants on the third planet from the sun develop warp drives and nuclear missiles? Or do you step on the nest now while it's still small?
That is a very chilling thought to leave our listeners with for a moment.
We're just getting started. When we come back in part 2, we're going to talk about what an actual alien message might look like. It won't be English and it won't be pictures. It'll be something much more fundamental.
And don't forget those secret coordinates, Josh. I'm still waiting for that reveal.
Oh, I haven't forgotten. But first, we need to talk about why some scientists think the aliens are already here and they're currently watching this podcast.
Welcome back to the studio. I've just added a bit more hot water to my peppermint tea. The steam is rising again, and it feels like a fresh start to the second half of our journey. Josh, before we left, you mentioned that aliens might already be watching us, or that their technology is simply beyond our comprehension.
Exactly. And to understand why we haven't seen them, we need to talk about the Great Filter. Let's use an analogy here. Imagine the universe is like a massive high-tech vacuum cleaner. Bear with me on this one because it sounds strange, but let it sink in. Imagine this vacuum cleaner is running in a house that hasn't been cleaned in 1,000,000,000 years. The dust represents potential civilizations. Now, most dust gets sucked up immediately. The Great Filter is the vacuum's nozzle. To survive, a civilization has to be heavier or smarter than the suction. Think about it like this. A vacuum cleaner doesn't care about the dust, it just performs its function. The universe might have natural filters, nuclear war, climate change, or even asteroid impacts that act like that vacuum. Every time a tiny dust civilization starts to grow on a planet, the vacuum of entropy or disaster sucks them up before they can reach the stars.
If the vacuum nozzle is behind us, we're the lucky piece of dust that got stuck under the sofa. We survived the hard part. But if the nozzle is ahead of us, we're currently drifting across the carpet, moving closer and closer to the intake. We see no other dust in the air because the vacuum already cleared the room.
That is a very domestic way to describe the end of the world, Josh. So we're just lucky dust.
Precisely.
But wait, there's more. What if the vacuum cleaner is actually an AI? What if an advanced civilization created a cleaning bot to travel the galaxy and destroy any other civilization that gets too loud? It's the ultimate security system. You don't build a wall, you build a vacuum that removes the competition before they even know there's a game.
Whoa, stop right there, Josh. You are talking so fast, I can practically see the sparks flying off your tongue. It's time for a pattern interrupt. Our listeners need a breather. It's time for the Alien or Not quiz.
Okay, I'm ready. My heart is racing. Let's do it.
I will describe a real-life object or animal found on Earth. You tell me if it sounds more like an alien or a human invention. Question 1. It has 3 hearts, blue blood, and can change its skin color and texture in milliseconds to look like a rock.
That's an octopus. Definitely sounds like an alien. If we found that on Europa, we would be terrified.
Correct. Question 2. A metal disc that was launched into space in 1977 containing sounds of wind, thunder, and a mother's first kiss.
That's the golden record on the Voyager spacecraft. That's us. We sent our greatest hits to the stars.
Last one. A star that flickers irregularly, making scientists think a massive structure is blocking its light.
Breathless, Tabby's star. People thought it was a Dyson sphere. It's probably just dust, but in my heart, I want it to be a construction site.
Speaking of construction, let's build some vocabulary. We have 5 words today that are essential for B2 learners. Josh, let's start with plausible.
Oh, I love that word, Plausible. It means something that sounds like it could be true. Not 100% certain, but it makes sense. Like, it's plausible that I forgot my keys because I was thinking about aliens.
Wait, I disagree. I think plausible needs more evidence. For example, it's plausible that there's liquid water on Mars because we see bedried riverbeds. It's not just a guess, it's a logical possibility.
Fine, you win. Word number 2, encounter. I said this in part 1. It's a meeting, usually unexpected.
But you can also encounter a problem. It doesn't have to be a person. If you're coding a website and you encounter a bug, it stops your progress. It's about meeting an obstacle or person with intensity.
I once encountered a bear while camping. That was an intense obstacle.
Or 3, fascinating.
That's too easy. It's just interesting, right?
No. Interesting is for a book you liked. Fascinating is for something that holds your attention completely. The idea of alien life is fascinating because it changes our place in the universe. It's magnetic interest.
Word 4, speculate. This is what we're doing right now. S-P-E-C-U-L-A-T-E.
To speculate is to form a theory without firm evidence. Scientists speculate about what's inside a black hole. It's like guessing with a suit on.
Guessing with a suit on. I'm skilling that. Last word, hostile.
Hostile. It means unfriendly or antagonistic. The dark formist theory suggests the universe is hostile.
Like my cat, when I try to give him a bath, he becomes very hostile very quickly. His claws are definitely antagonistic.
Okay, Josh, you've teased it since the beginning. The secret coordinates, the reception center.
Right. Everyone, if you have a phone or a computer near you, I want you to open a map. Look for a place in West Virginia, USA. The town is called Green Bank.
Green Bank? That sounds like a quiet, boring place.
It is, but it's the center of the National Radio Quiet Zone. In this town, Wi-Fi is illegal, cell phones are illegal, even microwave ovens are restricted.
Why?
Because of the Robert C. Byrd Green Bank Telescope. It is the world's largest fully steerable radio telescope. It is so sensitive that it can pick up a signal as weak as a snowflake hitting the ground.
If we ever get a call, it will likely be received here. This is the coordinate, 38.4312 north, 79.8181 west. If you look at it on a satellite map, you see this massive white ear pointing at the sky. There are people living in that town who have no idea that they're standing on the front door of humans' future. They live in silence so that we can listen to the stars.
That is incredibly poetic. A town of silence waiting for a single hello.
And that, Carla, is where we leave our listeners today. Between the wow signal and the silence of Green Bank, the truth is out there. We just need to keep our ears open.
This has been such a journey. Thank you for sharing that with us, Josh.
Of course. Now, listeners, I have a question for the comment section. If you were the first person to talk to an alien and you could only say 3 words to describe humanity, what would they be?
Oh, that's hard. I'd say curious, messy, and hopeful.
I'd go with, we have pizza.
Never change, Josh. If you enjoyed this mystery, you must watch our episode on the mystery of Atlantis. Next, it's about a lost civilization right here on Earth.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to Radio English. It helps the algorithm find more curious minds like yours.
Stay curious, keep practicing your English, and keep looking up.
Bye-bye.
See you in the next orbit.